Hi, it's Chris, and I'm going to guide you through the active listening simulations in Bodyswaps in VR mode. Firstly, I'm going to select my avatar that's going to be me for the rest of the simulation. So that's it. I have a body. I can move my head around, I can move my head, saying hello. The idea of this phase really is to take ownership of my virtual body, which subconsciously makes the experience more powerful. So I'm going to type hello with my hands. That's really just a little game to make me realize that those hands belong to me. Okay, so let's start with the first phase of active listening, which is the observation. I'm meeting Dev and Amy, and my job is to click the trigger of the controller, which is under my index finger, every time I feel that something is wrong.
Hi, Dave. Beautiful day, isn't it?
I guess.
You look a bit down. Something happened?
Kind of. Had some feedback from my manager. It's not what I expected. Whatever. I'll get over it.
What's it about?
Apparently, I'm not a good team player.
Really? That's a bit harsh. Did she give you any good reasons?
Not really. I've been super busy these last few months and happened to cancel a few meetings. And suddenly I'm not dependable. I
Wait,
have...
What? How could she say that?
Exactly. I did...
So that conversation goes on for a while, so I'm going to skip forward. And this is the results table I would get at the end of that phase, which shows me the behaviors that I picked up on, the fact that Amy looked at her phone and that she interrupted Dave, but also some of the stuff that I've missed. For example, when Amy minimized Dave's emotion. So let's revisit that part.
Needed to get it off my chest. Maybe that was a mistake.
Don't worry about it. You'll be fine. Anyway, I need to get back to work. See you both later.
So what you see is I just relived that bit of the conversation, but from Dave's perspective. And I'm getting more of an explanation of what the mistake that Amy did was. In that case, to disregard how Dave or how I was feeling, really. So now that is shown as ticked, and I would revisit all the behaviors, but for the purpose of that demo, I'm going to skip forward to the next phase. Continue. So in Bodyswaps, I can use my voice. So in the conversation that follows, I'm one-to-one with Dave, and I'm going to have to ask the right questions using my own voice to try to listen and to get to know more about what's happened and why he's upset. So, what are you going to do?
How am I supposed to know that?
So I picked the wrong question to ask. Therefore, I have a strong reaction from Dave and an explanation on what the mistake was. In that case, going jump straight for solutions. So, how are you really feeling?
Honestly, not great at all. My manager has no idea about how much work I'm putting in. I'm overstretched and under such a lot of pressure. And my team is so new. Most of them don't even know what they're doing.
And have you tried raising this to her before?
I raise it and then what? Don't you think I've already thought of that?
Okay, let's try again. Sounds like you're angry.
Damn right I'm angry. Wouldn't you be?
How about you tell me more about what happened?
Sorry, I didn't mean to let it all out on you. It's just... there's just been so much going on at work lately, and we've had...
So I'm going to skip again because this goes on for a little while. And the idea here was really to make mistakes, to experience the potential consequence of some of my actions. At the end of that segment, I would have also the opportunity to revisit some bits of the conversation when I made a mistake. So now let's move to the intervention. This is the unscripted bit of the experience where I'm going to tell Dave in my own words. So first acknowledge how he's feeling and then sum up for him based on what he told me why I think he feels the way he feels. And hopefully this new perspective will help him find a way to find a solution. So, Dave, firstly, thanks a lot for coming to talk to me today. I understand that you're quite angry, you're quite frustrated. If I get it right, you've been having a lot on your plate lately in terms of workload. And on top of that, you're having to attend meetings and you simply cannot do both. And today you feel that your boss, instead of thanking you for the efforts, criticized you for something that you cannot possibly be doing simply because you have too much work and you feel that it's very unfair and you're a bit blocked when it comes to how to move forward. Is that a correct assessment of the situation? So now we're going to use the spatial data, so how I move my hands, how I move my head, and the voice that was just recorded to change perspective and to sit on the other side of the table. So Dave, firstly, thanks a lot for coming to talk to me today. I understand that you're quite angry, you're quite frustrated. If I get it right, you've been having a lot on your plate lately in terms of workload. And on top of that, you're having to attend meetings and you simply cannot do both. And today you feel that your boss, instead of thanking you for the efforts, criticized you for something that you cannot possibly be doing simply because you have too much work and you feel that it's very unfair and you're a bit blocked when it comes to how to move forward. Is that a correct assessment of the situation? So that was the body swap. So I was looking at myself, my avatar had my body movement, had my voice, and immediately you realize a lot of things. In my case, that my diction is terrible, that I say a lot. That's for how I deliver my message. And then for my message itself, he was okay, but maybe a little bit confused. In my body language, I was doing this a lot with my hands. So let's see what the machine says now. So now we have automated feedback. So I did do eye contact and body language. I didn't get these ones, which are name use, labeling, emotion, and summarizing, which are semantic analysis. So analyzing, turning my speech into text, and looking for specific keywords.
Thank you. I think I know what I'm going to do next.
Dave seems happy. I'm now going to self-assess. So how good was I spotting behavior? Pretty good. What about really asking for the full story? Well, I made a few mistakes here. Was I good at not giving my opinion? Yeah. Summarizing back the situation, I was probably a bit short on that. Okay, so I'm intermediate. And so now I can redo this. These are some of the best practices in how I rated myself. So I could decide to practice those. For example, let's practice summarizing back the situation. So I would go into a mini exercise, a mini intervention, just to summarize. So I would record myself once again summarizing the situation. Swap. So I would record myself once again summarizing the situation. And then rate. Hey, now I'm a 4. Good work, that's an improvement. I'm now an expert. And maybe I want to work about spotting proactive behavior, in which case I would go back to the first conversation, or not giving my opinion, in case I would go to the conversation. So the idea here is to using self-assessment to let you practice on your own specific point and then reiterate those key best practices. Now that I'm done, I'm going to rate the experience. I identified elements I could improve on. I have a better understanding of some of the best practices of active listening. My confidence has improved, although I'm not there yet. Maybe I should do a little bit more. And I think this is more effective than the usual way of doing things.